Okay, people are still zooming in, but we're going to get started. So this is writing. It is Thursday at the end of our 3-week writing unit on narrative writing. For 3 weeks, we've been working on making a really great story. Now, all of you turned in your stories to me at the start of the year, your first little story. I'm hoping that you're feeling pretty proud of this story and how much you've developed as a writer. So tomorrow is all about celebrating that. Lots of kids get nervous about that, but here's what I want to tell you. I guarantee you after you share your story in some way that you're going to feel pretty cool about it. So what we usually do in class is we set up the chairs, we choose some
I'm
kids
not on my Chromebook today, so I can't really share mine today.
That's okay, David, but keep yourself muted for a minute. But I'm glad you joined us, and I'll go in and change the attendance for you too. So tomorrow is our writers' celebration. If we were in school, I would have told you already if you were one of my readers who's going to read it to the whole class. Remember in 5th grade, one of the things that I have to grade you on is a speech grade on how well you can read in front of a group or present in front of a group. So at some point this year, you're going to get a chance to do that, present a project in front of a group. Tomorrow, I'm just going to ask for some volunteers. I won't put anybody on the spot. And then usually what I have you do if we're in the classroom is after some kids read their stories to the whole group, then everybody goes into a small group, sits in a circle. I bring you a cupcake, which I can't do. I'm sorry, I can't hand you a cupcake through the computer. And you guys read your stories as a small group. And then everybody who's listening to the story is thinking about what they tried to do as a writer and what they hear their friends doing as a writer, and they write compliments. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, but we will be having a writer's celebration tomorrow and sharing our stories in some way. Now, in the past, what I did was I made a Google Docs and I put all your stories on there if you're willing to let people read them. And the reason you let people read them is we write in order to let other people read our writing because it sometimes helps others to hear our stories. Maybe my story about my fight with my brother helps you realize that even if you have a brother who's like a big older bully brother, that they're a person too, and you need to be sensitive to them. Or maybe you hear of somebody's story and it gives you an idea of something you could try with your own writing. Either way, sharing writing is a great way to empower you and make you realize that you have a lot of power in your voice. You can say things, you can have opinions, and that's great. If you are nervous about it, you will not be forced to read your story out loud tomorrow, but I would like some people to be really brave and volunteer to do that. And so I already had a couple of volunteers. Christian said he was willing to read his story. David, you said you were willing to read your story, but I have not seen it yet. So I did see your document, but it didn't have any words on it. So you need to go in and make sure that you write the story on that document because it did.
I did. It's just not showing for some reason.
Okay, well, I'll double check it today.
It shows on my
Okay?
Chromebook, but it's not showing on your computer.
Do I have any other volunteers who would be willing to read their story to the group tomorrow? Brave volunteers who are feeling kind of proud. I see somebody down there.
That I split my head.
Amoy, thank you for volunteering. That's so awesome.
About where the
blood was right now. Is there anyone else who's willing to read their story tomorrow? Oh, I see Amoy. Awesome. Christian, I've already got you. Thank you for being so brave. Any other brave souls who are willing to read their stories, who are feeling kind of proud of them?
I'm almost done and I'm working at it a lot today. I'm going to work on it a lot today, so I think I might be able to share tomorrow.
That's great. Thank you for volunteering, Kainoa. All right, and I'm hoping that these kids sharing is going to make some of the rest of you feel strong about sharing. And then when you go to small groups, I would like you to share your story with each other. David, you need to keep your screen on, buddy. Okay. Today we have just one last lesson that I forgot to do yesterday, and that's on proper nouns. Does anybody know what a proper noun is? Anybody?
It's
So we're going to watch a little video on proper nouns, and they have to do with capitalization. 2 things I want to tell you about capitalization. The first one is a pet peeve of mine. You guys know what a pet peeve is? It's something that drives you crazy. Let me show you what my pet peeve is. Yesterday, kids, right? I went to the store. Do you see that baby I, this I right here?
It's supposed to be capital.
It's supposed to be capital. And every time I see it, it makes me go, ah, that drives me crazy. Please don't ever put baby eyes in your writing. When I is alone in a sentence, it is capital. Yesterday, I went to the store. Also, every sentence starts with a capital letter. Every quotation, even if it's in the middle of a sentence. So, my mom said, go outside. The part inside the quotations is always a capital letter, right? That's the start of a sentence. So we have capital I's, capitals at the start of sentences, and a capital at the start of a quotation. Now, I wanted to show you one other rule about capitalizing, and that is proper nouns. So I'm going to share my screen and show you. It's just a 2-minute video, so it's pretty quick. Right here, and I want to go to not that, this. There we go. What are proper nouns? So this is just a 2-minute video. Watch it and see if you have any questions.
A proper noun is a noun that names a specific person, animal, place, thing, or idea. We always begin a proper noun with a capital letter. The names of people and pets are proper nouns, like Mia, Moby, Annie, and Senior Maurice. So we capitalize the first letter of each name. Madison Park is the specific name of this park, so we use uppercase letters at the beginning of each word. Names of countries, states, cities, and streets are proper nouns, so they're always capitalized. Names of buildings or monuments are also proper nouns. Cracker is not a proper noun, so it begins with a lowercase letter. But crispy wheats is a specific name, so it's a proper noun that gets capitalized. A lake is not a proper noun, but Golden Lake is a name, so you capitalize it. My friend Moby shares his sandwich with the ducks. The words friend, sandwich, and ducks are all nouns. Oh, I forgot to capitalize your name. Names are always proper nouns. It's important to look over your writing to make sure you capitalized correctly. Moby, I think that's enough now.
All right, friends. I'm going to stop my share and hopefully it won't keep playing. Let me make sure that I turn that off. All right. Any questions about proper nouns? All right. So today's a great day to finish your writing. Go through and check one more time for capital letters, for paragraphs like we did yesterday, and commas. All of that will be graded. This time I'm grading your paper, but I'm also going to teach you how to grade your own paper, and we'll compare grades and see which one you think you deserve. I'm going to grade you on 3 things. The structure of your story. Does it have a clear beginning, middle, and end? The content of your story, like did you write in full sentences? Do you have great ideas? Did you put in some similes? Do you have like rising tension and all of that? And then finally, the last thing that isn't the most important thing to me, because the truth is, if you ever become some sort of a writer, you're going to have somebody helping you with this. But the last thing I grade you on is punctuation, things like spelling, capital letters, proper nouns, indenting for paragraphs, and all of that. So you will get a structure, a content, and a punctuation grade. Okay? I'm going to teach you how to do that with your own story next week. And we'll be starting a new kind of writing with our next language arts module. Questions before we work today? Okay, so here's what I'm about to do. I'm going to be on the main screen checking to see that every kid shared their story with me. And I might even write to you on your story a little bit. So if you haven't shared it with me yet, let me put my name back in the chat one more time. You need to make a Google Doc of your narrative story. Title it your name. Oops. And narrative. You can even put narrative 2. Some people have done that. It's kind of helpful because this is your second narrative. And then you need to share it with Lori_laws at beaverton.k12.or.us. So that's what you need to do today. Make sure you've got your narrative story, you've titled it and shared it. If I have anyone else who's willing to share their story tomorrow, read it to the class, that would be awesome. Kids who read tomorrow will get to pick out one of those online prizes that we showed you today, those virtual prizes. So that's kind of fun for being brave and going first. Okay, so if that changes your mind and you want one of those narrative prizes, maybe think about reading your story tomorrow. We will have a celebration tomorrow. Please bring a treat to the celebration. I think we'll probably do our writer's celebration first thing in the morning so that we have time for it. And then we'll start sharing our projects the rest of the day. Today I have a book club meeting at 1:30, the 5A book club, Dalmir, Evie, Megan, and Mila. And so don't forget to come into that. I will make breakout rooms right now. You can go to breakout rooms by yourself and work, and then come back to me in the main room if you have a question or want some help. I'm not going to be conferring today because I just don't have time. If you want to go with a friend to a breakout room, stay in the main room and I'll assign you with a friend. It's a kind of a good idea because you could read your story to a friend. If you're one of my readers for tomorrow, please practice reading your story. I would like everyone in small groups to read their stories out loud if you're brave enough. If you're not, I won't make you, but I might make you share your screen and let people read your story so that everybody can see everybody's stories and give you compliments tomorrow. Okay, so all stories done by tomorrow. If you are not going to be done with your story by tomorrow, stay in the main room and explain it to me because you've had 3 weeks and I want to really celebrate your hard work. And then I will be grading all the stories, hopefully this weekend. All right, any questions?